I want to express my unreserved gratitude to our client, viewers, followers, audience and readership across the globe for your day-to-day support towards the advancement of Boshenlo TV across the globe. Our today's caption matter harps on what does it take to be a leader, or who is a leader? What will a person possess to be called a good leader? Before our special guest does justice to that caption matter, I would want him to extend his greetings to our viewership all over the globe. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you, sir.
Same
hello,
here.
Nigerians out there. And hello to all TINUBU lovers across Nigeria and the world at large. God bless us. So.
Your native, sir. Your name, your native.
My name is Honorable Aliu Asipita Abdul Muluku. By the grace of God, the National Coordinator, TINUBU Door-to-Door Ambassadors.
With me in the studio is my able co-host.
My name is Ajia Belikis Fatolu.
Our special guest. Who is a good leader?
Wow, that is a wonderful caption, I must say, because I think the hallmark of any society is the ability to evolve, bringing on board leaders who can, create the grand vision. Leaders who, as they evolve, understand the challenges of the society in which they were born into. Having understood the challenges of his or her people or their people, they come to understand that they must mobilize all resources, human and material capacities, to advance an agenda that seeks to elevate the standard of living, the standard of living and quality of life of the people. And so the question is a huge one: who is a leader? In our climb, we have had several leaders, but there are certain qualities you must look out for in whom to refer to as a leader. Now, a leader must have compassion at the heart of all he does. A leader must be sociable. A leader must have understanding of the lifestyle and sentiments of his people. A leader must have the understanding of the yearnings and aspirations of his people. And then what finally makes him a leader is having evolved through the wrongs, having evolved through the society, through the political, be it political, economic, whatever sector he finds himself within the geopolitical expression, and in this case, Nigeria. Now, what really makes a man or a woman a leader are three things. One, your ability to galvanize the grand vision of where you think your people should be. Two, your ability to mobilize the critical talents needed to execute this vision in its details. And finally, your ability to supervise and ensure that the vision is well, established by those you've recruited, whom can be referred to as your mentees or the talents, such that the goal, which is to improve the quality of lives of the people, is achieved at the end of the day. Either in terms of infrastructure, in terms of education, in terms of healthcare, in terms of financing, in terms of ease of doing business. That is what really defines whom a leader is. Your ability to bring about these three components to work to actualize the grand vision.
Thank you, my host, our guest speaker.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Having said all this, can we really know if ASIWAJU possesses any of this quality or all of this quality?
this is where I get really, really elated, because ASIWAJU BOLA AHMED TINUBU, the next president by the grace of God, you can see a man who has been given the talent for leadership, prepared by evolutionary trajectories of life at the personal level, at the political level, and across his experiences in life. You see a man who has evolved through the rungs of the private sector, sterling academic qualifications, evolved through the rungs of the private sector, was, because of the love of his people, he went into politics, and we saw his stellar performances. We saw what he brought about in Lagos, the transformative days he ruled or led in Lagos. For those of us who are not that young, we knew what Lagos used to be like. Lagos, I remember in those days before TINUBU came on board, was referred to as the slum of Africa. Lagos was referred to as the chaos, the chaotic city in Nigeria. There were logjam of traffic everywhere, left, right, and center. Lagos was the bane of criminality. Lagos was the place where daytime robberies and criminalities were taking place. It's quite unfortunate that a lot of us Nigerians, I don't know if it's a deliberate amnesia, but we seem to forget very quickly. But once upon a time, a man came into Lagos by the name of ASIWAJU BOLA AHMED TINUBU. He brought about transformation in Lagos. As at the time he came on board, we are quite aware Lagos was doing an IGR of about 600 million naira. Along with the federal allocations, with all of its potential, Lagos wasn't able to pay salaries adequately. Lagos wasn't able to cater to its burgeoning population. Lagos wasn't able to create the needed infrastructure to make it a competitive economic hub within West Africa, vis-a-vis the whole of Africa. But in 8 years, critical foundation laying 8 years, we saw Lagos evolved from an IGR of 600 million to in excess of 14 billion naira every month. Now that has grown upward of over 100 billion as we talk today, by virtue of the progressive, foundation laid, which has been followed by others that came on board. Now we saw in ASIWAJU hunts for talents. Yes, he knows of himself, he is talented, but he knows that his ideas alone are not good, are not enough to actualize the vision. And then what does he do? He attracts talents. And we saw him bringing people from various ethnic nationalities that makes up Nigeria. We saw him bringing talent from Osun, bringing talent from Ogun, going as far as the southeast, going as far as the north, so that what? He brings all of the best talent. And today we see that all of that talent has come to make Lagos the #1 business hub in Nigeria. It has brought Lagos as a state, not a country, as the top. He created several agencies. I think we are familiar with LASMA, LOMA, and a host of others. And these were aimed at what? People said those days Lagos was the bane of Agberos. But I think he was, in his own ingenuity, able to mop these people up the streets. And today, a lot of them are doing well. Today, a lot of them have improved themselves via educational activities, via the monies they receive as salaries from the jobs they have been empowered to do in the state. And you can imagine the trickle-down effect of that on their families. And don't forget, for an average Nigerian who has a job, about 9 to 10 other Nigerians in his family are dependent on him. So you can imagine, the social impacts all of those policies he has brought on board. We can imagine its impact on the society. And then, if I should address that question, if TINUBU himself is worthy to be called a leader, I think that question begets no further explanation. He towers above all others of his pair. I am wondering, is there any other governor from the 1990s that is of relevance today? I think within the political spectrum of Nigeria, he has remained relevant because he saw beyond the Southwest, and he ventured from the days of AD to AC to ACN, and he ventured to give a handshake across the Niger, and he brought along with it his progressive view. And along with others, His Excellency the current President Muhammadu Buhari, along with other critical stakeholders in Nigeria, they bettered the All Progressive Congress, which is an embodiment of ideas, an embodiment of progressive views. Those are the footprint of the leader we talk about. I think my advice to Nigeria at this point is that we must understand that every nation deserves what it gets. At this point in time, my advice to Nigerians is that APC's presidential candidate in person of His Excellency ASIWAJU BOLA AHMED TINUBU, running along with His Excellency Kashim Shettima, is the best bet for a future that we all aspire to. A future where government works for the interests of the ordinary Nigerian. Advice to you is this: all Nigerians prepare for the D-Day, February 2023, when the elections will be on. As we prepare, proceed and register to get your PVC. And then engage the next person, door to door, as we say. Engage them on why TINUBU is our best bet for a future that we all believe will make life more abundant for all of us.
Bush-in-law mirror of the moment. We're going to wrap up here until we meet again for another beautiful edition. For inquiry, advert placement, and sponsorship, call me on 080-65-980-566
or 080-37-866-925.
May we live to meet again.
Amen.
Cheers.